What's going on? Stefano here, founder of Realty Rulers. So in today's video, I'm going to bring you the only piece of content you're going to ever need to consume in 2024 and going into 2025 to learn how to use video to get more listings. And specifically, I'm going to walk you through this 10-page Gamma document I created myself based off what I saw works best, what I noticed works best for me personally, for my business, and for my clients. So now let's just get started. And the first thing I want to talk about is what's the problem with online seller leads. So a lot of people used to think and still think that online leads are like Zillow leads. But the problem is that a lot of the times, these guys are more like top of the funnel and Zillow leads are like down in the funnel. So if you try to treat these guys like, okay, let's just run an ad on social media and I'll just get a name and a number. The faster I call them, bam, and once I get them on the phone, I got them, let's list. That's not the case. So with online leads, you got to try your best to build as much rapport as you can before you call them, okay? So the longer it takes to fill out a request from you, the better the quality. So the longer they have to listen to your voice, see you in front of a camera, the more they get acquainted with you. And that's the key with online seller leads, because especially now, again, a lot of people are starting to understand how this works. But if you ever tried leads in the past, you know these guys are not going to sell tomorrow, but they're still going to list either with you or without you. So that's the problem. The future is being able to cultivate and build a whole database, having the patience as a trait to wait for people to list. Because real estate, to be honest, is the highest, there's nothing more high ticket than real estate. And if you know how sales work, the more something is high ticket, the longer the sales process might be. If somebody's about to sell their home, one of the biggest decisions of the life, you cannot expect them to do that in the next 3 days. Let's go, after clicking on a random amount of social media without even knowing you. So the way we think about this is, okay, these guys have zero attachment to us. They just want evaluation. So how can I make it personal and create a process where these guys know the face behind evaluation? So again, what I'm doing is, what I'm personally doing for myself, you can see with this video, is when somebody Googles Realty Rulers, they're going to see this YouTube channel. They go inside, they see all these videos, all these shorts. They go into Instagram, they see videos, they see case studies. What I'm trying to do is build trust using video. So that is what you should do, especially in real estate, a niche of a segment of the market where building trust with these guys is more important than other segments of the market, right? So in real estate in particular, you cannot have that approach you have with your referrals where you expect them to let's because even if they want to sell, sometimes you get people who want to sell. For example, Matt Klein, you can go watch his case study on our site, realtyrulers.com. He met 5 sellers in the first month. One already listed, it was kind of an agent, and in the case study we explain why. Later in the video I'm going to explain why. And now last Friday he already signed a new listing agreement. So by the time I'm recording this video, a while passed. Now it's almost 2 months. But what I'm saying is that, for example, in his scenario, he met somebody who was listing in a month, but they still have to trust you. And so it doesn't matter if they're gonna list tomorrow. If they don't trust you, they're not gonna list with you, right? Or they're not gonna list at all because they didn't find somebody or someone to trust. So again, the mistake I see most people make is, you should filter the leads by zip code. You should do this, you should do that to filter them out. And yes, filtering them out is such a critical thing. I'm not saying that. Filtering them out is so important. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's not important. It's super important. To be honest, if you don't filter leads out, you're just missing out because you're just talking to so many people and, to be honest, kind of wasting your time. So again, the truth is that you can have the fanciest ways to filter people out, but still, these guys don't know your name. And the lesson I learned is that there's nothing more important than your voice, your face, and who you are within the whole process, right? And so sellers in particular, they're very picky. They're selling their biggest asset, like I said earlier. So you gotta do your best to not only have a fancy AI to filter leads according to the zip code, because nowadays you cannot do that as much in the front end, because a lot of people are gonna say, yeah, we can filter leads by zip code. Cool, but now you're just fixing a shallow problem. You could get the leads who are like in the best zip code in your city, but I still don't know who you are, and so who cares, right? And so that's the core problem, is building the relationship with them. So do you see where the problem lies? You just call them from a random Facebook app. Like the 99%, even if you have a landing page, 99% of people just have a landing page, send them to a calendar. That's what happens, and that's why they're pissed off. Even if you text them after 2 minutes, they'll still spend too little with you, and so you gotta do your best to make sure they not only they spend more time to fill out the request, and so it doesn't take 20 seconds to fill out the request, but they also spend time listening to your voice. I'm not saying like 20 minutes video, they're never gonna listen to that, but like if you can have like something short, but that sets the expectations, and they know your voice, your name, that's gonna massively increase the quality. So here's a little equation. The more time spent with you, the more the better the quality. So the more time they spend with you, the more the quality, right? So 3 ways I'm gonna present you today, the 3 ways to use video to get listings in 2024. So number 1, we got front end. Number 2, we got back end. Number 3, we got video prospecting, video texting, whatever you name it. Later I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So let's start with the back end, because that's, to be honest, out of these 3 ways, that's what we use the most and when we tap into the most, right? So this is my favorite way to use video real estate, and the biggest use we make of these types of videos is build rapport with the leads when running ads to attract seller leads. Okay, so if you get access to the doc, link below. So below include 2 links, 1 link, and you'll be able to download these 10 pages Gamma document, and you'll also be able to download a 10-page document I give to all my clients to learn how to record these types of videos and some examples made by my clients. And so the videos, basically 2 videos my clients made for themselves, 2 backend videos, right? So what I'm saying is that, if you want to take that document and try, if you want to use these types of videos, try to reproduce what you find there on your own. Please don't just, that document is not meant to be copied and pasted, so please don't do that. Be smart with it. Time spent with you, quality, so that's also the best way to set the expectations. Most people still do the bait and switch and then wonder why they keep getting pissed sellers on the phones. Of course, they're pissed off. You just told them, I'll text you, and then after 2 minutes, you call them. Of course, they're pissed off because you just said something and then they just did a complete opposite. And they know that you told them, yeah, you test the evaluation, something quick to hook them in. They're like, these guys are nuts. They're becoming more and more sophisticated. So if you still use tactics that worked like 5 years ago, when they were not that sophisticated when it comes to online advertising, you're probably not gonna see as much success, right? I mean, it still works. To be honest, it still works. Personally, I just don't like to use the bait and switch because a lot of them just get pissed off, right? And so the secret is to just tell them the way I'm gonna deliver this, and now I'm gonna walk you through basically how to record the backend video. But the secret is just to tell them literally, okay, like the way I'm gonna deliver this is going to be through a phone call. So they expect that, right? Be on the lookout for a phone call from me. They expect that, and before I recommend what we do personally before they put in their name, email, phone. Tell them, okay, the way you receive a confirmation by a call. Tell them that. If you watch my previous video, what we did with Telly to, before they could become leads, set the tone, set the expectations. Okay, they're going to call me if I really want evaluation. Nothing is going to pop up. If they know you're going to get less leads, so expected something different, and so now they're kind of, you kind of lost them, right? And so at this point, do you see how easier it is to have a conversation? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think it is easier, right? Like, just calling a lead you expected like something to pop up, or how did you watch your video where you said exactly what you're gonna do next, and that's what you did? Like, of course, the second one, because they know your voice, so they also know your voice, like I said earlier, and so now they're not thinking in the back of their head that you're a scammy telemarketer. They know it's you, and everything is fine, and they're actually ready to have a actual conversation with you, a human conversation. So let's dive now into the nitty gritty. Okay, quick note, I also talk about this in latest videos, break it down, the case study, latest case studies we got, how we met 5 sellers in a month. To take full advantage of the backend video, you need to be fast while it is so fresh in their mind. So if you call them 5 days later, it won't work. So keep this in mind. Again, if you, with anything, like Tally said this really, really well. What he said is that, okay, you can have the best video, but if you don't call them while it is so fresh in their mind, it doesn't matter. Like, you're just wasting time, right? And so if you call them 5 days later, nothing will work because you're just so slow, they just forgot. And so if you don't know how to have a speed to lead approach, or if you don't have something systematized, go back to my second video I made, or like third video I made on my channel, I believe. The video name is how we use, I think it's about conversion mechanisms, right? I might put like a little note top right here, but go back to that video, watch that video, and so if you need to get a system to nurture the leads and have speed to lead and how to use AI, etc., right? But now, again, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So the architecture. So the video must be short and easy to digest. So our backend videos are typically anywhere between like 50 seconds to a minute, okay? So again, short, easy to digest. You just do like, this guy, like, people's attention span is pretty short nowadays. You don't want to throw a whole just start blabbering up stuff. Like, they're gonna just cut it off, honestly. So cut to the chase, 50 seconds to a minute. Set the tone, set the expectations, set the frame, and of course, try to. Of course, the quality doesn't matter, but if you're just recording with your bed full of clothes, with a pile of clothes, like, imagine if now I was recording with behind me was a whole messy room, like another wall. Like, if you can have this wall, like blank wall behind you, it's fine. Have a window, whatever you want to use, but just don't overthink it, right? That's the key. So 10 seconds intro, keep it short, keep it brief. Just tell them your name. Again, type of funnel we run for our clients is so key, because when they call them, they immediately connect the name to. Just keep it brief. Just, for example, like, hey John, this is Stefano here from Keller Williams, and I just wanted to thank you for requesting a free home valuation. Now, I know you're probably expecting those way off bot valuations, but I would like to, the way I work for my clients, I like to deliver something that's more accurate, like a personalized valuations. And then here you can use a case study. For example, out of the latest 10 homes I sold, that's the price. That's the price the home sold for, and that's the price Zillow said the home was worth. You see there's 10% off. Okay, now if you, according to Zillow, my client will have lost 10%, or the home would have been overpriced and so stayed on the market for too long. Use a little case study. Don't make it too redundant and long. Okay, the key again is to keep it short and keep it brief. And then the what. So be on the lookout for a phone call from me. You need to set the phone call expectation. And then one thing some of my clients do, what I do for them in the editing, I slow the video down for like a few seconds, and I include the number they're going to see on the screen. And also, cool thing I do with my software, when my clients call leads, on the caller ID, they see their name. So instead of seeing a number, they're going to see, for example, like Stefano Founder Realty Rulers. And so after we watch your video, call them after 5 minutes, they're going to pick up. like if they actually want evaluation, they're gonna pick up, right? And so also this is so key here. Like last part of that section of the video, you have to instill what we call the domino belief. So I guess you probably don't know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if you know Russell Brunson. So he's the founder of ClickFunnels. If you don't know what ClickFunnels is, you probably live in a cave right now, but just Google it. I guess you don't live in a cave. At least you know what funnels are. If you don't, just Google what funnels are. But essentially, he's the founder of ClickFunnels. In the beginning, when funnels were not a thing, and he used to sell ClickFunnels, that was his product, what he did is on stage, he was never selling ClickFunnels. He was selling the belief that funnels were the way to go now, instead of just relying on websites. And what was he used to say is that, have you ever got a deal from your business card? No. Well, a website is like a business card, right? It's like, yeah, it's all fancy, showcasing stuff, but it's not going to get you much business, right? Instead, funnels is the way to go to get basically 2x, 3x the amount of money you're making right now. That was his thesis behind ClickFunnels, and, you know, it worked well. So that's how you instill domino belief. Now, domino belief that you need to instill in these home sellers is, okay, like if you actually want evaluation, get something accurate, because if you get something 10% off, well, I just showed you case study X, case study Y, and why this client would have lost 10%. And if you're selling for $1 million, you don't want to, you don't want to lose like 100K, right? Like that's a lot of money, right? And so now you still domino belief. So now they know why you're calling them, because they need, and they know they need you to get that accurate thing. So it's going to be a lot easier to have that conversation. Now the goal, plus wrapping up, last part of the video, draw the final conclusion. What I think I like to do with my clients, little nugget, you'll see in the videos. At the end they say, take a look at what my clients have to say about me. So at the end of the video, what I like to do, the same page include like a widget with their Google reviews. If you don't know how to embed your Google reviews in your website, the software that I use personally, I don't have a partner, I don't have a partnership with them. They're not gonna pay me if I tell you to go there. Go to healthsite.com, and I don't even know what I'm paying for that, but whatever. Go to healthsite.com. You probably just pay for the cheapest plan. Probably even like do it for free, I guess. If you just need one widget, I think you can do it for free. And just go there, and it's pretty simple. You find a Google widget, then you look for the name of your Google My Business page, and then you simply just grab the code and embed it on your website, okay? So that's it. Now, again, if this sounds confusing, go to the description below and grab the document where that document contains like 8 pages document, contains the whole script and some tips I gave on my clients on how to record this type of video, okay? Okay, so now we talk about the back-end videos. Now the second best way to use video in 2024 to get more listings is using video prospecting or video texting. So what we found out is sending these types of videos is particularly effective to reach the colder leads, especially if coupled with what we call the CMA drop. So there are 3 ways to use video prospecting, video texting, whatever you want to call it, right? So what I'm saying is basically sending a text with a video to your leads. Pretty simple stuff. So instead of recording the back end video one time, that's what most of our clients do. You send it via text to every single lead, and you make it more personalized. So there are different apps you can use. I'm using Loom right now to record this video, but you can also use a BombBomb. You can also use, there are a ton of apps out there. I don't know. In my opinion, Loom is the best. Some agents recommend using BombBomb. I don't know. Like it doesn't really matter. What matters is the message behind it. Do not overthink. Do not overthink. Like, I'm the quality of the video. Oh, this video must be perfect. Like, just record that and put it out there, right? And so instead of like recording it again one time, you just send it every time. In my opinion, this method, is bit more effective. Honestly, I don't think it matters that much. A lot of leads are not even gonna open it, especially if it is via text, because again, with the backend video specifically, what we do is we direct them to a page with the video. So they're most likely like gonna watch it. Instead, if you send it via text, like, you know, they could not open the message. So second way is to use videos to communicate with hot leads. So for example, this is when it makes sense to make something personalized. For example, you're generating buyers. Typically we do it with listings. So for example, with a listing, it could be, okay, like this is a market update, whatever, or this is, okay, like maybe you want to send them a specific message, or maybe you just drop something off and you want to, again, like, there are a ton of ways to use this. I'm just giving you some ideas with buyers. For example, like you could screen share your screen and, talk about the property they saved during their search. Ton of ways to use that. And the third way, the way our clients use it the most, is the CMA drop video combo. So when you go to their home to drop the CMA evaluation they request, that's what our clients do. Highly recommend, if you're not doing this and you're generating online leads, you're wasting a ton of money. One of my clients started doing this. She was skeptical. Last week, boom, met all 3 out of 4 leads. She had 4 leads. She just started out. She went there. She dropped them off, met 3 out of 4 leads. One told her to honestly like F off, and that was fine. But the other two, like one lady let her inside, and she had an appointment like 30 minutes, right? And even if they're not gonna sell now, who do you think they're gonna remember, right? The lady told her, oh, nobody does this nowadays. So if you're not doing this right now, highly recommend you do this. Web Masterclass instead of our program made by our client on how to drop the CMAs. Not released yet on YouTube. I might release the video like that in the future. So just Google how to drop CMAs. It is so effective. It's crazy, right? But then what I'm saying is that something that we have learned is that one of our clients made a whole masterclass around this, and he learned that if you go too far and you deliver an exact number and you make it too rich, it can backstab you, right? Do not, like, one of my latest videos, right? Because I'm just sharing what I'm learning for myself and for my business. So one of our latest videos, I talked about, okay, like, you gotta make it valuable. One of my clients spent 2 hours. Okay, that was a mistake. That was a mistake he made, and then I learned from his mistake, and that's the beauty of consistently being in touch with clients and having this consistent feedback loop, is that he told me, man, I tried this. She listed with a discounted agent because the CMA was too specific. She had a good number there. Boom, called an agent, discounted agent, listed with him, and at the same price my client told her to list, right? So that's an example of like when you go too far, okay? And also, like, if they're not home, and then let's say they're not home, they don't open the door, it's fine. At this point, our clients take out their phones, record a video at the lead's doorstep, holding the packet. Like, imagine you go there, you have your packet, you sit there at their doorstep, you pull up your phone and just start recording, right? And say, look, like, hey John, this is John here. I was in the area. I want to deliver that free home evaluation that you requested a little while ago. Looks like you were not home, so left it at your door, and you just at their doorstep there, so they're gonna recognize that. If you have any questions about it, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help. Have a great day. You can also think, I didn't want you to think that I was some crazy dude just dropping things off at your home. If you have that type of personality, adjust the script based off your personality. This is just a really, really general script. I highly recommend based off your personality, like with every script, you customize it, right? And so some guidelines here. Do not overthink this. Imperfect action is always better than inaction. Does not matter if you like to hit record or not. Honestly, like in the beginning when I used to make my first videos, I didn't like to hit record myself. I still did it. You gotta do it because, guys, the best way, especially real estate, all my clients hate using videos. Most of my clients hate standing in front of the camera because you're putting yourself out there. It's a bit awkward. But when you start doing it and you see people that are, you see how powerful it is, you never go back. So trust me, it's just overcoming that first wall of fear. Once you do it, it's gonna be fine. So just don't overthink it. Even if that video is terrible, the worst video you have ever seen, just send to them. They'll still appreciate you they still appreciate the effort, and they'll still remember you anyway, even if the video is so bad. Like, of course, it's like absolutely terrible, like you're just, completely saying nonsense, just don't send to them. But if you're saying things that make sense, but the video is a bit weird, it's fine. Just, they're not gonna judge you too much for that. Okay, so now another guideline I forgot to add in document is before you drop the CMA, right? That's so important. Before you drop the CMA, our clients use an app called Forewarn, okay? So if you go to right now to, and again, not affiliated with forewarn.com, I'm just giving you as much value as I possibly can. Go to forewarn.com right now. It's like $20 a month, I believe. And if you go there, forewarn.com, it's a tool you can use to check out criminal records of your leads, okay? And make sure they're actually the homeowner of the home, because, you don't want to waste time dropping things off to people who did not request them, right? So what you go there and you verify their criminal records. Don't go to their home without verifying criminal records. You might meet a complete, weirdo, and you might get jumped when you step into the home, and maybe like they're pissed you dropped it off. Now they're like, don't do that. Like, it's pretty risky. You're still getting in touch with strangers. So again, don't overthink this step. Check out the criminal records. Check out if it's safe. Check out if you want to do business with this person. Of course, if they're like 20 criminal records, you might not want to do business with them, or you might still want to do business because they need help, but just with an extra layer of attention, right? And so check that out. Make sure they're safe, and then drop it off, right? Do not go to like strangers' homes without checking who they are first, okay? Because you're still dropping off something to a stranger, okay? So now let's talk about the last way to use video in 2024. So this is the front end, okay? This is really, really powerful, okay? I'm not tapping into this yet for myself or for my business. Honestly, for my business, I'm already recording this YouTube video right now. I'm about to record video ads, but I'm still not using them a lot. So what you see in these slides, it's something that I've learned from other people and implemented some of them, like not everything, right? So backend and texting is something that we've already tested, me and my clients. But front end is something that I personally learned not from real estate agents, right? But I've learned this from my people in my space, in the marketing space, and how to use video ads. Because to be honest, in my space, to attract real estate agents, to attract home improvement companies, there are a ton of ways to use videos and video ads. And so I just learned this from a whole masterclass, seminar, whatever you call it, like 3 hours about video ads. So I'm going to just basically share with you what I learned from that masterclass and try to convey to you how do you go about using the front end videos to get more listings. Okay, so front end, what I'm saying is a YouTube ad, a video Facebook ad, a TikTok ad, and honestly right now we're tapping into this more for business rather than for my clients. So more for myself than for my clients. But again, I know already this is the future of real estate advertising. Right now, a lot of agents are still using the stock images, and that's fine because they work, because you're still communicating with an audience. Again, like I said here, typically like 40, 50, 60 plus. Sometimes we get leads who are like 80 years old. So do you think an 80 years old is going to be attracted by a reel with fancy captions? Probably not. Right? And so that's why video ads are not that popular yet in real estate, but in like 5 to 10 years, they're going to be actually dominate all the, like, if you're good on camera in like 5 to 10 years, like you're going to make so much more money than the common agent who is like terrible on camera and as a fear, scared of the camera, right? And so that means that this type of audience is less prone to consuming organic content like reels or shorts. Okay, if you're 8 years old, you're just going on Facebook to watch some cat photos. You're not even scrolling like reels like at 20 years old, right? So maybe reels are more effective for like first-time home buyers, still around the 30s, But if you like go to Target home sellers, the simpler it is, the better, right? So there are some exceptions though, okay? So if you're in a big city, like for example Los Angeles, Vancouver, New York City, like I saw some really really good ads in Vancouver with made using video, right? So there was this ad, I don't remember who made this. Let me see if I can pull it up. But essentially this agent was walking around a house explaining why, again, instilling that domino belief, like I explained earlier, on why they need his valuation and they cannot rely on those bought valuations. But it was walking around the house. It was pretty funny. So if you're in a big city like Vancouver, Los Angeles, New York City, the market is quite saturated with people advertising a home valuation or a 2024 price update. So if you use video, you have an advantage because you're standing out. Like these people are scrolling around. They constantly see the same exact images. And then you come in with your video and bam, like you hook them in, right? And you also, if you're in a high ticket, really, really competitive market, for example, California, half of the people here have a license. So competitive. There are more agents than people, literally, right? I don't know how that's possible. But that means that a lot of people are advertising, even if you're in Fresno, Bakersfield, whatever, in the San Joaquin County, right? A lot of people are advertising, and that means that if a lot of people are advertising, you got to find ways to stand out even on the front end, right? That's not necessary if you're like advertising in like Maryland or, you know, Boise, Idaho, right? But if you're advertising like California, you know, you got to do it, right? And so what I mean is that maybe in California, you can also like, I'm not an expert in like YouTube ads specifically. Like we don't use it that often. Again, we like what I'm saying is that you must get creative with ways to stand out, especially if you're in big cities, and using video in the front end is going to help you out with this. Okay, so even if these conditions apply, don't overthink it. So I learned this from Tom Ferry. I've included this quote in my last video. If you didn't watch my last video, go watch it. It's me breaking down how our client Telly met. At this point I'm recording this, he already met 6, and I think 6 or 7, and already signed a listing agreement aside from that lead. They listed it with a Wisconsin agent, and I included this quote at the end. I talk with a lot of successful agents on a regular basis, and if I had to boil down what makes those people so successful, it's not that they're all instantly innovative, they're not like breaking new ground. It's one simple common trait. They're doing the work. So now the way I apply this quote to real estate is simple. Don't think you have to reinvent the wheel with your marketing if you're in a big city. Still, even if you're in a big city, the same exact principles apply, okay? Don't try to reinvent the wheel, because if you do that, now you're stepping into the dark, and when you do that, it's pretty risky, especially if you don't have a high budget and can afford to completely fail, okay? So if you cannot afford to completely fail, don't try to reinvent the wheel, okay? So again, this is a common message I always try to convey in my videos, is the fact that if you try to reinvent the wheel too much, you're stepping into the dark. A lot of people are saying, oh, like, I don't want to advertise a home valuation. Okay, cool. Or a guide, whatever. I want to try something different. But if you change something like that's so that everybody is using as a hook, like a home valuation or a guide, and you try to use something completely crazy as a hook, it could work. But most people think that they can just spend $5 and test the thing. But to test such a new thing like a hook, you need like spend thousands of dollars, hundreds, literally tens of thousands of dollars on it, and then see if it works. And if it doesn't, you just wasted money. So if you're not in that position right now, just stick to what works and then try to stand out using but still maintaining the same principles, if that makes sense, okay? So I just want to give you some nuggets again. I learned studying the best marketers who are currently running video ads from this masterclass. I watched 3 hours and a half masterclass on video ads, on my video ads, running ads in my space, so marketing space, so B2B space. Now, I've divided this into different parts. So we got the hooks, we got the call outs, and then we got the organic feeling. So let's start with the hooks. So the key to good video creatives are hooks that catch the attention of ideal prospects who are mindlessly scrolling. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, again, if you're like Vancouver, LA, like that's gonna work so well. These guys are scrolling. They see the same pictures because a lot more agents are advertising there, and then you come in with your video, boom. Again, if it's done well, because if you completely miss out, this is not like, you might overthink it a little bit, because this is not like sending a video text to a lead. This is like advertising. So you might want to make it as good as you possibly can. And you can have a visual or audio hook as long as it gets someone like to stop scrolling. Okay, that's the most important part. It needs to get somebody to stop scrolling. Okay, you can use whatever hook you want. That's the most important thing. And you're spending a lot of money to put your ad in front of people. You want to put just as much time into making sure they actually stop to watch it. So that's why hooks, like with front end, like, you know, if you're running back end videos, hooks are not that important. You don't like need to do a crazy hook. Like, they already gave you their information. But if you're using front end ads, video ads, hooks are the absolutely most important part. Same with YouTube videos, like this video, for example. The way, if you're still watching this and you clicked, the way you stick through, it was because my hook was decent, at least and so you started thinking in your mind, like, okay, let's just keep going. I like what he's saying. Let's just keep listening, right? But instead, if your hook is terrible, you can have the best video ever. Nobody's gonna watch it, right? So here's a cool example I found in Vancouver. Again, I didn't include the link here because I couldn't find it. I don't know why. I don't know where it is. If I find it, again, if you go below, not only I include the backend video script, not only include the videos example of my clients, I also include this whole gamut document. So if you want the full doc, go below and download it for free. So now when it comes to callouts, who you call in the ad is the second most important part next to the hook, okay? So if you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. So in order for the hook to be effective, the viewer needs to know the content is intended for them specifically, okay? This is the biggest mistake I see in real estate ads. Somebody would just run, okay, get a free home valuation, targeting a range of 30 miles, and then they wonder why they get leads all over the place. Targeting nowadays is done with creatives and copy. I don't know if I've included this below, but yeah, I didn't include that, but essentially, this is so key. Nowadays, Facebook, YouTube is a bit less strict in terms of targeting, but when it comes to Facebook, what I'm talking about is that Facebook became a lot more strict with the way you can target people, and so you cannot like target people who are interested in like golf courses, and they have made like people are interested in boats, and so they might have waterfront properties, right? You cannot do that nowadays. You cannot even like target the age or the gender. Like, you just gotta do what you can do, because especially with real estate, they thought that these ads were discriminating people, and so I'm not gonna say my opinion on that. Doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is that with this, you gotta get creative and really try to target people with copy and creative. So calling out the city in the creative. So if you're recording a video and you want to target a small area of Vancouver, okay, say, okay guys, like for example, like southeast Vancouver. We just say that in the hook, right? And somebody's from southeast Vancouver, they're gonna still watch the video. If somebody's from North Vancouver, they might watch the video, but they're most likely not gonna slip through. Or if you're running images, if somebody sees southeast Calgary, like they're probably not gonna click on that if they're from like a completely different area of Calgary, right? And so again, majority of ad targeting is done through copy and creatives. Okay, so Facebook will transcribe your creative and pay attention to who is clicking on the ad. So it's important you call out your ideal seller to the T in your creative to make your targeting more effective. So for example, to be honest, with sellers, you cannot do this that much, but with buyers, you want to call out people like, okay, get a list of properties between the 500s, 600s, 700s, whatever, right? what I'm saying for sellers and listings specifically, just calling out homeowners is not enough. Southeast Calgary homeowners, for example, like you cannot just say get a free home valuation, because if somebody's not a homeowner, they may click on that thing. You want to like tell these people are not the homeowners, say get out, I don't want you. And it's not because you hate these guys, like poor guys. It's the fact that these guys are not the homeowners. That means they're just curious about that. You're paying for this guys, so you don't want to you don't want to train the pixel to attract guys you don't want in your pipeline. Like, people are not the homeowner, or they're not even a potential buyer. They're just curious about it. Could be me. I just wanted a home valuation about home. Like, who cares, right? Right. So, and don't do the bait and switch. This is so important. Like I said earlier, don't do the bait and switch. I see a lot of people still doing this. Will text you your free home valuation fast, but then they call them after 6 minutes, and this guy's just wanted a text, and now they're getting your call. Of course they're pissed off, right? And so don't do it. The way we do it, again, using backend videos, like coming back to this, if you use backend videos, you can tell them, you can set the expectations. So now, if they say, oh, like, no, I expected like a, I expected a text, but then you can call them out if they're lying, because they're lying. If they watch your video and they say, and they give you this objection, they're lying. So you can call them out, say, wait, like, didn't you just watch my video where I said, be on the lookout for a phone call from me? Oh, yeah, whatever. They're going to say whatever. So you either get a yes or a no, whatever. They may tell you to go away, but at least, like, you called them out, right? So now, when it comes to let's go back to the bait and switch. So what I'm saying, okay, if you don't do the bait and switch, a lot less people are going to be, angry. So if you're not going to text them evaluation, don't say we'll text you the evaluation. You might see less clicks, but the quality will increase so much, because people don't want to, they may just really want a quick valuation, a range, because they're selling in 3 years, just cool. They're not going to click on it. And if they don't click on it, you don't train Big Soul to attract these guys. And so that's a lot better at the end of the day, right? And so, last thing, organic feeling, okay? This is so critical. Again, real estate, this is not that common in real estate, because in real estate, we're still behind a little bit, like 5 years, to be honest. Because, again, the audience we're targeting are not like first-time home buyers, especially if you want listings. So we're still a little bit behind on that, but the common mistake is like trying to make ads look highly produced. If you're still running billboard ads in 24, that's fine. Do whatever you want. I'm not saying that. You can spend your money however you want, but you're still like putting your car like in front, like if you're still like, I don't know, like this massive billboard, in the middle of the highway, like that's going to be that much intentional. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. But what I'm saying is that the best performing ad creatives look and feel like regular content, right? So don't try to make your ads look like too highly produced, right? So if you're a realtor, you might want to look your ad to look like you're just on a podcast giving home seller tips. You might just run that ad, and at the end maybe like call them out and say, okay, like if you find this valuable and want a home valuation, like click the link below, something like that. But you can get creative with this. I might include Ryan Serhant and some good examples I can show you. I mean, this is the link below. Let me see if I can probably show you some examples from Ryan Serhant, what I'm talking about. So, wait a second. Oh, this is the wrong link. This is cool, girl. Yeah, this is the wrong link. I gotta fix that. But if you go to take a look at Ryan Serhant ads, like he has some pretty good examples. Again, Ryan Serhant in general is a pretty good example if you want to learn how to use video, because he's so good on the camera. So if you want to learn how to be better on camera, I recommend go watch his content, because he's so good. And by default alone, just by watching his content, you just become better on camera, right? Because he's just so good in the way he uses his tonality. And so just Go and watch it if you want to become better on camera. Now, last thing, to get access to all the scripts that we use, the videos made by my clients, and this 10-page Gamma document, go below, link in the description. I hope you found this video valuable. Now, I'll give you some actionable steps, because again, like, otherwise, there's no way you can act upon this. So, back in video, if you're running ads right now, go and record something like this. Go below, take that doc, right? That's gonna be the first actionable step. Like, go below, take that doc, and try to kind of copy what my clients are doing. Do not copy the script word for word. Please don't do that. Try to kind of customize it a little bit. But go below, take that doc, and then try to reproduce this for you and for your business and for whatever type of ads you're running. And instead with texting, second actionable step, start dropping the CMAs off like as soon as you can. Trust me, this is the biggest thing that my clients are doing right now to get as much, to squeeze as much juice as they can out of the leads. And then last step, if you're running ads in a big city, you're not seeing the click-through ratio is pretty low, try video creatives. The click-through ratio is going to go up. And also one thing, what's going to go up too is cost per lead. You cannot do much about it. As soon as you use video, your cost per lead is going to go up. But if you watch my previous video about how we run ads, I always say that cost per lead is a vanity metric. What really matters is cost per appointment. So if they watch the video, the cost per lead goes up, but you get more appointments, absolutely do it. Of course, if you're spending $10 a day, don't run videos. You cannot afford it, okay? So that's it. Hope you found this valuable. Hope you find this video like really the only video you ever need to watch in 2024 to learn how to use video to get listings. If you want to learn more about the way we specifically help our clients get more listings in 2024, the second link in the description is going to be to a link that's going to bring you to a book a call page. Totally transparent. If you want to book that call, I'm going to walk you through personally what we do for our clients. And yeah, that's it. So hope you found this valuable, and I'll talk you into I'll see you inside our next video.